Someday I'm going to send Mark Gug a bill for all the liver damage he's caused me. Hey kids, it's Dub back for another episode of The Great Canadian Neckbeard. We're looking at X-Men Gold number 22. Mark Guggenheim continues to be the bane of my existence with this franchise. Not even sure he even really likes the characters, because the villains tend to get a lot more set up and they're more interesting than the actual characters are. Which, I like villains. I do like villains, but the book's about the X-Men, not about the evil whatevers. I've got a beautiful cover here by Dan Mora, and unfortunately, it's got nothing to do with what's inside. It's really unfortunate. I like that they fade off in the background. The coloring's nice. The characters are actually drawn. They're all drawn differently, which is great. We're not looking at all the same static models. Kitty's still stuck with the standard Marvel fridge body uniboob, but Rachel and Storm look, the way they're supposed to. This looks like it would be a great poster, but the fact that it's got nothing to do with what's inside the book. Sorry, Dan. I really am. I wish that you were given the opportunity to do something much, much better than this. So Mark sets us up with a little bit of... You're not really sure what you're stepping into here. We've got a shitty house in Long Island. Little straw-haired girl being chased through an absolute shithole. I would be ashamed to live in these conditions, and I am a hopeless shut-in. That is a terrible place. And then we find out, down a little bit further there, and then we find out that's Lydia Nance. So if you've been following this series, she's been kind of the human villain for X-Men Gold franchise. And I don't know how to tell you this, Mark, but you're making us sympathetic to the bad guys. Okay? So we know earlier on, she's this horrible person that hates mutants. Everyone calls her a racist, which is weird, since she's more of a speciesist. This would be like the reaction that she's having would be more like Homo neanderthalis or Homo denisovia going, hey, what the hell's going on with all these Homo sapiens around here? They're kind of taking the place over, and we're kind of worried. Which would be a legitimate concern. Mutants probably aren't going to take over the MU anytime soon, because otherwise it'd be completely unrelatable, which is why the Inhumans don't really work. We find out the reason she hates mutants is because Dad's one. Probably Dad's a scumbag. Now, they could have gone with one or the other, and then going with both seems kind of cheap. It really does. Could have been just as bad that she was like, if Dad had some kind of power that she was afraid of, even though she liked Dad. But nope, she's got this house. It looks like they're the only two that live in it. Either that or he's gone and slapped the crap out of Mom and she's on the floor somewhere else. But Mark's kind of like the feminist, communist one that got stabbed in the head there a few issues ago. Thankfully that one's gone. Turns out Dad's got scales. We have a reason to empathize with Nance. However, at the moment, Mesmer, I don't like this version of Mesmer. I don't like this character design. In fact, I don't like most of the character designs in this one. They're really plain. Like, in the 80s or the 90s, when this is still printed on newsprint, then I could understand going with something this plain, because it'd be hard to color something really beautiful. But we live in the days of digital publishing and coloring. There's no reason for Mesmero to just be a green dude with a headband. There's no reason, Mark. There isn't. You or whoever the artist is should have put a bit more work into these character designs. I actually really like his old character design with the hood looked better than this. And now he's got he's gone and done the, in just 7 days I can make you a man bit, and he's immense. when you make your side character really big and bulky, you kind of take away from the fact that they're a brain-based villain and not a body-based villain. It's things you have to keep track of. So they attacked Nance's little party, knocked everyone out, but not really. You finished napping yet? Funny, waking everyone up. What's the signal? So Kitty punches these guys in the head, punch kick in the head. Having read Kitty and Wolverine, that's perfectly acceptable. It is. For anyone that says it's not, I strongly suggest you go back and read all of those. Kitty has martial arts training on par with Wolverine. This gets to happen. I would have rather seen her use her phasing abilities, preferably. To just slip out and then pock or something like that. Kitty kicking and punching people. I know she can do it. Seems a little out of character to lash out like that. And poof, they're up. And while I'm whining about everything else, can I take a moment to whine about the way they took away Colossus's muscle bands? That was a really neat aspect of the character. It made him look completely different. Now he's just this big dude made out of tinfoil. Amongst other people made out of tinfoil. And what in the hell is going on with Storm's face? Seriously, what is that? That's a man face. That's this giant, wide... The pointy nose? She's black, dude. That's gotta be... Those are not black people features. And I'm not talking about full-fledged, holy crap, get you in trouble, stereotypical. That is not it's not really a black person face. And if you're going to go through the effort of making everyone else actually look different, points on that one, you have to really got to stick to model. Now, here he's got the spider thing on his head. And there we don't. Let's go back a couple pages. There it is. Looks like a headband. Nope, it's that thing. I don't even know if that's a tattoo or what. The least you can do is have it in the same place all the time. No reason for the dots to be glowing. The suit doesn't do anything as far as I know. Rachel wakes up, does some stuff to him. They beat the stuffing out of everybody. These are not Avalanche and Pyro, as in the last issue. They are guys that got hired with similar powers. I'm surprised they're still finding mutant villains after M-Day. That was a long time ago. It reduced everything, but this one's actually I like this idea. I can make anything in nature quake, like your insides. That's creepy. That's actually not a bad power. Granted, okay, so he can't make the sidewalk shake, but he can make the ground underneath it shake. I'm not sure if that makes him more or less powerful than Avalanche. But it's an interesting way to use it. And, of course, gets absolutely clocked by Colossus there. Rachel's mind is in flux and she's vulnerable, blah, blah, blah. And they're trying to figure out what's going on. We're here for Nance, not to fight the X-Men. Don't worry, be revealed. We're going to leave, they won't even see you fly. And gone. So he's got them fooled, right? Well, he's, as far as Avalanche and Pyro are concerned. Kitty sneaks up. This thing, has it changed shape again? Now it's kind of low and high up in his forehead. Could have sworn there was one where it was really sharp. Needs to be more consistent. Sticks her hand through his head. That's a Kitty move. That's the side of Kitty we've seen before. Up comes all the bad guys. Shaw, Executioner. Don't worry if this panel doesn't make a lot of sense. Granted, we've seen Executioner before, or at least Executioner in some of the early issues. Couldn't tell if it's the actual one. Fairly certain Shaw is dead, and so is Omega Red. Combat goes on. He slips away. And he's like, wait, this can't be right. Because she knows the Omega Red is gone. And if Omega Red can grab you like this, that's the end of you. Like, there's not a lot of fighting back, whoever you are. Once Omega Red's got you, you're in a lot of trouble. Tells everyone to stand down. This transition of panels. So Peter's got him up on his right shoulder, sets him down and punches him with his left hand. Like there should have been... I think this would have worked better if he'd slammed him rather than a punch. Kurt grabs one and buggers off. And then it turns out they're beating up cops. Now, if Pete... Go back. Look at this. If Pete knows he's fighting a robot, he doesn't pull punches. That dude should be dead. D-E-D. Dead. This guy down here's got her pretty bad. That guy should be absolute paste. Head right off. However, nice twist. I'm hating Mark Guggenheim for everything else. That's a neat twist. Oh, by the way, you're beating up cops. And Ezra may see what he wanted to see. Bah, you're under arrest. Now what do? You fight your way out? You just got caught beating up a bunch of cops. Like this dude here is in desperate need of medical attention. So they get taken in. Like, she's got to be responsible, right? Has to be. There's a couple pages between this. Mesmero talking to Pyro and Avalanche. The Pyro guy is really pissed off that they got hired to do this, and he walks off. So we'll see him again, but I got to skip pages for stuff, and it's not all that good. Midtown Precinct. She's got a collar on. Jen comes in, so it's actual She-Hulk. By the way, looking forward to actual Shulky. Hopefully we'll get some actual real She-Hulk out of either the Avengers or her series. I'm given the option between... Bit of a tangent. Given the option between Shulky and Amadeus Cho, Shulky every day of the week. If we can't have Bruce Banner, I'll take her. And they've got her looking giant and huge and green. Still recognizable as Jen, but off on the tangent. How long can you get us out of here? Can't. Why? Oh, hang on. Back that up. She can't get them out. No one has any memory of what happened, of what, the kiddies side of it is. And they beat up a bunch of cops. What do? You bust them out? Okay, now you're criminals again. They know exactly where you live. You live in Central Park. So what we've wound up with is kind of the team gets to spend an issue in the Clink. And Jen, between this one and the one I accidentally flipped forward to, Jen asks, so where do you words going to happen? We've got the Avengers, the defense, we've got everyone else to look after the city. What do you think can happen? What happens? What happens is Mark reminds us that he's a fucking hack with his shit villains. Meanwhile, back in the negative zone, Annihilus is like, we've got some stuff, and I'm smarter than you, and they pull out that fucking giant, stupid coal grate god from the Negative Zone War series. Because all the bad things can never go away. I liked most of this issue. The few little technical spots aside, I thought it wasn't bad. And then this. Right? We got... Mark made us a pizza. The crust was great. Nice, thick, and I like thick crust. Fuck you, screeny crust guys. Nice tangy sauce, and pepperoni and salami and bacon, and no fucking pineapple because you guys are deviants. And then he just took a dump on it. So the meal was great, except the dessert was liquid poo. And if there's ever as a metaphor for what Mark Guggenheim is doing this franchise, it's spraying liquid poo on it. Yeah, well, this has been another issue of The Great Canadian Neckbeard. If there's something you'd like me to get mad at, please let me know. I'm always down to get mad at something because it's cathartic. And I'll see you guys later.